WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
You know I love to eat, and well, I like to cook just as much. Gumbo, crawfish etouffee, or those slow-cooked red beans and rice. The only rice I use is Supreme Rice. Supreme Rice in Crowley, Louisiana. They process over 1 billion pounds of rice a year. Hey, look, it's available at Walmart, Bethurns, Calandros, High Neighbor. Tell your friends in other part of the country they can order through Cajun
The Louisiana
Creole.
Prep Scoreboard Show.
Presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine.
On 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
From the Jamborees to the Superdome.
Your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio. Here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Good evening and welcome to the Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, Jimmy Roy. Our full crew in tonight: Taylor Sharp producing video, Ryan Kennedy on audio, and Skip Cottrell is getting your scores. And if you're looking for a full scoreboard throughout the night, watch us on Your View as well as the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. The ticker on the bottom of the screen will give you a full scoreboard from around the state. We'll also be sending them out throughout the night on Twitter at Louisiana Prep. That's how you can follow us, at Louisiana Prep. You can drop a question into the live chat at the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel feed.
You're going to answer it?
Yeah.
I don't see it until about 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm trying to remember,
forget.
though.
I'll be honest, I typically don't see them until about 11:40 and then realize they were giving me an update, so I will actively try a lot better this week to look for those. So tonight, Week 8, teams are starting to kind of make that real strong push towards the postseason and talk about extremes tonight. We'll get into a lot more detail in some of these games. By the way, coming up in just a couple of minutes, Airline Vikings head coach Justin Scoggins will be joining us. A big win over Bird, so we'll be looking forward to that conversation. We'll also be discussing our walk-ons game of the week, a big win for East Ascension over Denham Springs. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Debuting a new segment, Taylor's Top 5. He's been working on this since yesterday when I talked to him about it.
If Neville's not in it, he's cut.
Look at him over there erasing stuff right now.
Yeah, he made it with a dry erase board, so there's always room to add.
It's only Baton Rouge schools.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because if it was statewide.
Next week, maybe it'll be statewide.
Okay, yeah.
But I'm looking at extremes. I'm seeing a score in the New Orleans area. Rummel beats Brother Martin 3-0. And then I go to North Louisiana and I see Benton beats Houghton 78-71.
In regulation, which is amazing.
Yeah.
That's what Jimmy just pointed out.
We've seen scores like that when you get in those 7, 8, 9 overtime type of games, but never.
Let me do so that's 48 minutes. All right. That's 48 minutes and 150 points.
This game,
I'll trust you're adding on that.
This game was 35-28 Benton at half. With 6 minutes left, it went to 64-63. Then 71-71 with 2:20. Of course, if you had 2:20 in this game, then you left way too much time on the clock. And 78-71.
You're about right.
They've scored 52 points. Benton has scored 52 or more in their last 5 games. If you remember, it started back with the Newman game, and it turned into a shootout where Arch threw a touchdown pass late, and it was like a 57-52 somewhere, a crazy score. And then next week they come back and do the same thing. It is crazy.
Yeah, they had a big one with Airline. It was like 70, 75, 59.
Karen Crow, 72. Sam Houston, 55. Coach Chad, I should have put him on defense. My bad, dude. Here's the thing about these high-scoring teams, and here's the question for anybody who can answer it. It goes all the way back to whenever I can remember. When you score fast and you score a lot, your defense is never good. Or you just whitewash teams. It's like the guy in college that does that system. I can't think of whatever it is right now. But
the never punt?
No, that's never punt. He was
Tony Franklin.
Tony Franklin system. he scores a lot of points, but you leave your defense hanging too. You know, that's kind of one of those things. I mean, I don't know.
You gotta protect your defense sometimes, and running the football does that. You don't see many teams going that fast all the time. They pick their times to do it, but yeah, when you're going that fast all the time, I've seen teams that are running the snow huddle hurry up offense years ago be up 35-7 in the third, fourth quarter and lose the ball game because they're just taking their time running the clock. They want to get cute and just keep going, throw a couple pick sixes, go a 3 and out where 30 seconds go off the clock, the other team goes down and score. I think you got to mix them up, but hey, it's got to be entertaining to watch as a fan.
I'll tell you what, I'd like to watch it.
I would.
You know, the guy coming up airline, you know, they've been scoring a lot of points. They do it from under center. They do a lot of pretty cool things. You know, he was at Leesville as an offensive coordinator, did well there, and then he was at Parkway under our friend David Feaster for a little bit. So first head coaching opportunity at Airline, he has them playing real well. That whole district up there, different this year is they can all score enough points to be scary.
1-5A?
Yep.
Ooh, solid district. And
except Southwood.
there's always one in the bunch. There's always one. Right. Catholic High, if you were listening on the radio tonight, you heard that game go down to the wire. And Catholic High, I guess the best way to put it, just going to escapes with a win. Woodlawn goes up late. Catholic High returns the ensuing kickoff to what, the 24?
To the 39.
39.
Yeah.
And just took a couple of plays, last play of the game, got it in the end zone. A game that was real close throughout the game.
Last play and on fourth down.
Yeah.
So this is 2 years in a row. Last year, you remember Woodlawn upset Catholic, giving them their only loss, and then plays them again close. I wonder what that is. I know Marcus had a really good game playing last year against them. Coach Randall for Woodlawn did. This year, it was 24-7 Catholic High at one point, and then it ended up 28-24.
So was it their own 39 or they returned it to Woodlawn?
They returned it. They elected to kick deep. This was under a minute left in the game, I think it was. They kicked it deep, and Catholic High returned it to the Woodlawn 39.
Yeah. Not smart. But anyway, we saw a good one out at EA in Denham Springs. And let me tell you, when you see a score that doesn't resemble really what the game turned out to be, is this one, East Ascension 17, Denham Springs 7. Denham Springs had every opportunity in the world and really just outplayed. Denham Springs defense played exceptionally well. Very good.
Yeah. And
it was a couple of penalties and a couple of things that got them down the field, Jimmy. And they took advantage of it. And, they scored, and then there was a late pick six. And ironically, that was the way Denham got in, was they were set up by pick six.
Pick six down to the 2-yard line by Deshaun McBride. He's got, I think that's 5 or 6 on the year now. Every
couple
week,
in a row too.
Every week you start hearing his name pop up as for an interception.
You give teams like that opportunities. You know,
neither team could get anything going in the run game, and that was what both teams were trying to hang their hat on, was the run game. And Denham Springs had success early in that ball game, drove it up. First drive, 15 plays, ate up 6:35 on the clock, and missed a 30-yard field goal. They had 3 bad snaps on field goals that really hurt Denham Springs, and they weren't long field goals. One was 30. One was 26, and the other one right there down towards the end. It wasn't a long one, so they just didn't execute.
The timing of those field goals are more important in high school, probably so, than as you get older, because that kicker's just not quite as sharp as they would be if you were being college. So if it's not
not
there,
perfect,
right, it can throw things off.
In fact, the third one, we say they missed it. They didn't. It was a bad snap again. All those snaps were low, and they called a fire call where the receivers go out and hold her, which is a backup quarterback.
Right.
He tries to make a throw to the end zone, and it was incomplete. So, yeah, Brett Beard's going to be – this one's going to sting for a little while because –
It can't for too long, though.
No, it can't for too long. But this is a game where they completely dominated in the whole first half and had nothing to show. Had 7-0 lead to show for it. Was all.
Speaking of dominated, what do you think about Lafayette Christian over Westgate, 35-6?
Well, I think Westgate hadn't played anywhere near the schedule that LCA had. LCA comes in and leads 28-6. They scored 21 unanswered in the second quarter. You look at schedules. The best teams that Westgate had played was St. Martinville and Turlings. When you look at LCA's schedule, they played Acadiana, Woodlawn, Jesuit, Ruston, Turlings. And I think that was the deciding factor in it. I thought this week was going to tell a lot about Westgate. They were ranked number 1 up until Turlings beat them a couple weeks ago. Were they a real number 1? I think we got that answer tonight. Anybody can lose a game. Turlings beats them in a great game, but LCA completely dominate this one. Now, Derek Williams, the defensive back safety for Westgate, Texas commit, he was out tonight also with a knee injury. So that, I'm sure it played a factor, but I don't think it played a 37-12 factor.
And on that Lafayette side also, South side, a big win over Acadiana, and we'll talk about that in the 5A side of things. So lots to get to. We will have, like I said, our interview coming up with Airline Vikings head coach Justin Scoggins in just a couple of minutes. But first, we'll get you caught up on scores from around the state. And we'll start first in the capital city.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Walker defeats Live Oak tonight, 33-14. Catholic on the last play of the game defeats Woodlawn, 30-28. Scotlandville 48, Liberty 28. St. Michael a 49-16 winner over Terra. Zachary 42, Central 28. Dutchtown blanks Sandoval 42-0. East Ascension over Denham Springs 17-7. And Dunham 41, East Feliciana 32.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Southside defeats Acadiana 22-7. Karen Crow in a shootout 72-55 over Sam Houston. Erath 31, Abbeville 21. Lafayette Christian over Westgate 35-6. St. Martinville over Kaplan 34-14. Opelousas defeats Cecilia 21-16. Catholic Point Capee 47, St. Edmund 14, and St. Thomas More 35, Turlings 30.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Archbishop Shaw 57, Patterson 21. Edna Carr 54, Holy Cross 7. St. Aug and John Curtis will play tomorrow afternoon. Newman 31, Country Day 14. John Errett 33, Chalmette 28. Rummel with a field goal defeats Brother Martin 3-0. Lutcher 21, Assumption 13, and Edie White 45, Berwick 21.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
North DeSoto over Huntington 48-6. Sterlington defeats North Webster 48-7. Union Parish a point better than Richwood 21-20. Neville 43, Tioga 7. West Monroe over Ouachita 45-14. Winfield 20, Red River 7. Benton 78, Houghton 71 in a shootout. And Homer 43, Arcadia 6.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Amite defeats Albany 34-2. Jules Sumner 35, Pine 28. St. Paul over Mandeville 31-14. North Shore 42, Hammond 27. Lakeshore over Pearl River 35-20. Franklinton 37, Salmon 35. Kentwood over Slaughter 20-0. And Slidell 36, Covington 7.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day, it's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Le posso offrire un caffè? Le posso offrire un caffè? Andiamo insieme da me, non c'è.
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, Week 8. And as we get into the back half of the season, the weather gets a little cooler, we can showcase some new swag from BSN, the best supply network in sports. BSN Sports. Jimmy's got the new quarter zip pullover on.
And you talk about comfortable. This is the most comfortable one we've had ever. You have one on.
I got the 2021 edition. The other one I still need to fluff it up a little bit. Yours looks a lot better than mine. It was I'll fluff it up a little bit, but Todd's also got the white polo on. They outfit us, they can outfit you, and we certainly appreciate their partnership. BSN Sports, the best supply network in sports. A shout out, Scott Nielsen and the crew.
He does a great job. Anything, coaches equipment, football equipment, in any sport, anything. Just call Scott Nielsen with BSN.
Or holler at him on the sidelines.
Yeah, he's always at Zachary. They had a good one tonight, actually. Let's jump into a little Thursday. We're waiting on Coach Scoggins from Airline High School. Warren Easton and Madison Prep last night, 20-14. Warren Easton, they moved to 7-1, and Madison Prep falls to 14-3. Both teams came in scoring plenty of points. Madison Prep, they were averaging 41.5 in their last 4 games. Warren Easton was averaging 54. in their last 4 games, but this one was a defensive battle. Warren Easton held Madison Prep to 24 yards rushing, 193 total offense. Warren Easton defense had 9 sacks, forced 2 fumbles. Running back Fred Robertson rushed for 171 yards, 2 touchdowns. Again, Madison Prep has played a big win over U-High last week, played a difficult schedule. When you look at their 5-3, but they're also their losses to Brother Martin, Scotlandville, Warren Easton. So there's nothing wrong with what Madison Prep is doing.
Well battle-tested, especially coming off of last week's late field goal to win that game. So we'll get more from Thursday night in just a bit, including our conversation here as Airline got the win over Bird, 48-28. Also a 1-5A victory. They improved to 5-3 on the season and 5-0 inside district play. Their head coach, Justin Scoggins, joins us. Coach, thanks so much for a couple minutes with us tonight.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all having us on.
Hey, Coach, before we get started, I want to ask you about your player. Is it Ladarius from last night that was taken off the field? How's he doing today?
Yeah, so he was good. He got discharged about 3 o'clock in the morning. All the CT scans came back good, and I just went over and visited him earlier today, and he's feeling fine.
He was ready to play, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was ready to roll.
Well, Coach, I was reading an article earlier, and one of your players talked about, or one of your players, Trey Jackson, kind of, points to the locker room as one of the reasons why you guys have started doing so well. Can you kind of explain that to our listeners and how that all came about?
Well, we talk a lot about, kind of taking steps in the program. I didn't think it would kind of take off this quick, I always preach to them kind of, we're at the point now where you got to do small things. You got to do little things right. And, I always tell them, hey, look, be honest with yourself in film and make sure the locker room is clean and neat and nice. And, it's not as clean as I want it to be. It's just the stuff that we talk about on a daily basis. I always preach on it, no personal fouls, do everything right, be right in the classroom. And it's just kind of starting to stick with those guys.
Coach, you start off the season 0-3, losing to North DeSoto, which is undefeated after their big win tonight over Huntington. You lose to Union by 4, Northwood, Shreveport by 7. Fairly tough schedule start, but you go 0-3, and now you've wheeled off 5 straight. What was the turnaround?
Well, anytime you're learning a new offense and a new defensive scheme on both sides of the ball, there's going to be some growing pains. And, we had some steps in the right direction in those games, but we turned it over 8 times against North DeSoto, and then we turned it over 4 against Union Parish, and then we finally kind of got going in the second half against Northwood. And, and from then on when we played Benton, we did some things that, we kind of excelled in. And, when the kids kind of figured out, hey, man, this is what winning is like, they kind of haven't, they don't want to go back to the old way.
Speaking of Benton, did you go to that game tonight?
No, I was keeping, we have a little group text, between, some of the players, then we have with the coaches, and they were, some of the kids were there, and it's like, hey, it's 42-42, and it's like 56-42, and it's 63-63, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and it's like, okay, 71-70, and I'm like, this is just sitting real. And then it was like, so-and-so got a pick, it's like 78-71. And the final was 78-71 Benton.
That's great.
Your whole district has been putting up a lot of points. Through the air, on the ground. Your quarterback, Ben Taylor, last 2 games, 48 of 63. God, those are great numbers in high school. And to be only a sophomore, is that correct?
Yeah, Ben's a sophomore.
And so 48-63, he's doing everything you need him to do. At some particular point, you're just like, hey, don't lose the game for us, but manage it. And it seems like he's doing a great job for such a young guy to be doing it.
Yeah, and that was another big part. Kind of early on. The stuff that we do. We're spread, but we play with the tight end, and we try to create some mismatches. Across the board, and there was just a lot of stuff he didn't realize until we got in game and then watched the film, and then he's to the point now where he can. When I mess up a play call, he just fixes it on the field. And, he knows where to go, and he's a very carefree kid, but, on Fridays, man, that dude doesn't talk. He's locked in. He knows exactly what he wants to do, how he wants to do it, and, and every facet of the game. So, man, he's been a huge surprise.
How about your wide receiver, Dak Chavez?
Man, Dax is 6'4", 195. He was on the 4x2 team that made it to state. He's just a hard worker, man. And we can't. The hardest part about Dax is nobody's. I figured everybody would just come in and offer this kid, but that nobody's really come in and offered. It's been kind of disappointing. Just kind of the smaller schools. I send this stuff out weekly. And, we can't get anybody interested in this kid. He's got a 3.6 GPA, a 23 on the ACT. The only thing he doesn't do is babysit my kid. I mean, this kid does everything. He's like, he goes and does these courses in the morning to become a coach. And it's like this high profile deal. You have to get, he's just a fantastic kid. And he's even a better football player.
Coach, how tall is he?
He's 6'4". He's
That's what I thought he was.
Yeah, he's a little bit taller than I am.
And he's on the 4x100?
He's in the 4x2. He ran the 4x1 as well, but he ran like a 22 split in the 4x2. So
that's crazy.
Man, he can roll. I was telling some guys today. I said, once the kid gets going, like he flies. He's just so big, and once he gets his weight going one way, he can fly and he can drop his hips and he can run routes and he can do it all, man. He's a great kid.
Well, Coach, before we let you go, we're all offensive guys. We've got to talk just a second about the defense. Talk about a little bit about those guys and what you need for them to do for the next couple of weeks to step up to be where you want to be come week 11.
The biggest thing is just to keep kind of learning the scheme. They need to get big stops. We go into each game saying, hey, look, this is how many stops we need. And, for them to get better, we got to be efficient in tackling. We got to be efficient. We play a little bit of man-to-man. We got to be able to play that stuff and get stops when we need it, kind of like the last 2 weeks against Houghton and Bird. We had some timely stops last night against Bird in the second half, and we were able to adjust coming out of the half, and kind of the same thing with Houghton. We onside kick a lot as well. We keep you on your heels. We'll onside kick 3 or 4 times. So, the high-scoring stuff, we put the defense in bad situations, and, that's just kind of the confidence I have in those guys to go out and make 1 or 2 stops. So, the numbers can kind of be deceiving when you look at our defense.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time here on the show. Congratulations on this win. I know there's more work to do, so we look forward to having a conversation with you down the road.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all having us on. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, guys.
By the way, Coach's conversation coming to us via the Cardinal Financial Hotline.
Second week in a row we hear, or was it maybe Lutcher lunch was 2 weeks? No, he was last week.
Last week, yeah.
Last week.
Coaches say almost identical things about these kids, about not only are they great football players.
Great character.
Great character. I mean, this guy's
6'4", though, and runs a 22
so how can you tell me he's
split.
undersized?
And so
he's got you by what? 0.2 of a second?
Yeah, a couple.
But 48 catches, 948 yards, almost 21 yards a catch.
You would think they're knocking on the doors for him. They'd be beating the doors down.
Find Lunch in him a place to go, and they can let Lunch throw to him.
Nickel State.
Hey, no doubt.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Another one last night. We'll wrap up Thursday before we go to break.
Boy,
Southern Lab 35-14.
I was surprised about the 14. I thought you were about to go to the next one.
And Carroll and Franklin. Franklin Parish. We got to talk about that one. Carroll moves to 7-0. Franklin drops to 6-2. Carroll wins 29-28. Carroll defense held Franklin to 121 yards on 41 plays, 33 yards in the first half. Carroll also forced 4 turnovers in the game. They never could get anything going. Franklin couldn't. But the story of the game is, I don't even going to say it was labeled a melee. I don't even think there was much to it, but Carroll coach was trying to come down when it was like 23-0, and they had some words going on and kind of had a little push and shoving maybe going on between the Franklin Parish parents and the Carroll coaches. It filtered on down to the field. No players were involved. I think it's being made a bigger deal than what video I've seen of it. There may be more video that I haven't seen, and it may be what they're building it up, but I think they're going a little overboard with it.
Maybe something had built up during the game. There were some complaints, but you never know.
Right.
These are all just, this person said that and that.
I saw like 13 different videos. You know, they're all different.
Right.
You really can't tell. I didn't know it ended up on the field until later on this afternoon. And, you know, the first initial thing we hear is that the fans didn't like the Carroll coaches cursing. Well, y'all should have built a window so you couldn't hear them. And Jimmy's got a story here shortly. And, you know, the other thing is, you know, when you're coaching, yeah, you shouldn't curse. But if it's something you've been doing and you're in the heat of the game, it's just not going to stop. It's not personal towards them.
No.
It's just how.
The story of it, if you want to know the truth, this is my opinion, they were getting their butts whipped.
that
and
is the
they
truth.
didn't like it.
Nope.
And they started hollering at the coaches because they're up there.
That's right.
I've been to Notre Dame McCrowley. There's you're on top of the press box. Benton High School, we play in the semifinals. You're on top of the press box. Like Todd said, build a press box. If you don't want to hear them, build a press box. But we had a similar situation, not like that, but we were playing Lutcher in the quarterfinals, I think. That was Todd's first year there. We had a couple touchdown lead. We're trying to run the clock out. We're third down and 6 or 7 yards. We run naked, bootleg, whatever you want to call it. Tell the quarterback, who happened to be Travis.
His son.
My son. Don't go out of bounds. It's a run-pass option. Do not throw the football. Do not go out of bounds, and do not fumble. Get what you can get. Go down, whatever. Well, he bounces off 3 or 4 players and goes 60-something yards for a touchdown, and it ends up, I think, 35-14, and this was with a couple minutes in the game. We're just trying to eat clock and get out of there, and Lutcher's fans weren't too happy about it. I mean, it was the longest run of his career. Yeah. It wasn't like we were trying to score. We were trying to get out of there with a win, and we had to have a deputy. Now, the Redemptorist press box was on the visitor side, which was a mess up too, but we had to get deputies to bring us out throughout the crowd. No punches or nothing, right. But they were hot at us. We just Eric Held was up there with me in the press box, and we came down.
So we know it's a true story.
We know it's a true story. So we came down, and it was tough to get out.
Mind you, that's Thanksgiving weekend on a Friday. LSU and Arkansas went into about triple overtime. Those people from Lutcher had been there since about 2 o'clock.
They had.
And below those stands the next morning. Below the stands the next morning, it was like any bar times 10. It was terrible.
It was. That was a great environment, though. But yeah, things like that happen. But yeah. Unless there's other films that we haven't seen, I think they're making a big deal out of something.
But parents still should be aware of what you're doing. You're in, you know, the kids. The whole game had to stop. You know, it's not about you, and that's what I just want people to understand.
And again, no punches were thrown that we've seen, and also no kids were involved. They maintained their composure, so that's the best thing out of it.
We'll take a time out. We'll get into some of our walk-ons game of the week when we return. This is the Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at Running Boards Marketing.
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Walker over Live Oak 33-14. Calicut 30, Woodlawn 28. Scotlandville 48, Liberty 28. St. Michael over Terra 49-16. Zachary over Central 42-28. Dutchtown shuts out Santa Maria 42-0. East Ascension 17, Denham Springs 7. And Dunham 41, East Feliciana 32.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Southside of Acadiana 22-7. Carencrow 72, Sam Houston 55. Erath 31, Abbeville 21. Lafayette Christian over Westgate 35-6. St. Martinville 34, Kaplan 14. Opelousas 21, Cecilia 16. Catholic Poincapie 47, St. Edmund 14, and St. Thomas More 35, Turlings 30.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Archbishop Shaw 57, Patterson 21, Edna Carr 54, Holy Cross 7, St. Aug and John Curtis will play tomorrow at 2. Newman 31, Country Day 14, John Errett 33, Chalmette 28, Rummel 3-0 over Brother Martin, Lutcher 21, Assumption 13, and Edie White 45, Berwick 21.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
North DeSoto over Huntington 48-6. Sterlington over North Webster 48-7. Union Parish a point better than Richwood 21-20. Neville 43, Tioga 7. West Monroe 45, Ouachita 14. Winfield over Red River 20-7. Benton 78, Houghton 71, and Homer 43, Arcadia 6.
The North Shore Scoreboard. Restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Amite over Albany 34-2. Joel Sumner 35, Pine 28. St. Paul 31, Mandeville 14. North Shore 42, Hammond 27. Lakeshore 35, Pearl River 20. Franklinton over Salmon 37-35. Kentwood a 20-6 winner over Slaughter. And Slidell 36, Covington 7.
Thanks, Skip. If you're missing any scores tonight, you can follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep. That's at Louisiana Prep on Twitter. Also, watching on Your View and the 104.5 ESPN YouTube channel. At the bottom of the screen throughout the night, a full statewide scoreboard, every final from every game played tonight and last night will be on that ticker at the bottom of the screen. Tonight, our walk-ons game of the week featured East Ascension and Denham Springs. The Spartans got the win tonight, but our student athlete of the week, our State Farm student athlete of the week, comes from Denham Springs High School on that offensive line. Tyler Kimball, Jimmy.
Yeah, Tyler Kimball, 6'5", 285 pounds, 4.4 GPA, 33 ACT. He also plays some nose guard. He starts at left tackle. He's a recipient of the Joey Schutz Award, that wears the number 58 jersey. Joey was a former Denham Springs player, went on to have some success and went to the NFL. Went and volunteered as an assistant coach on Coach Nettles' staff and passed away at a very young age due to a heart issue. And so that's a heck of an honor if you're going to get chosen to wear that. But Tyler fits that role. He throws the shot put in track. He has offers from Nichols, Air Force, Liberty, and Purdue. Big, good-looking kid, but 4.4 GPA, 33 ACT. Again, congratulations to Tyler Kimball, our State Farm Student Athlete of the Week. One of our State Farm agent sponsors is Drew Dillio, who was inducted into the Hall of Fame at Parkview Baptist tonight. So congratulations to him. And I want to mention Robert Gunn also from Central High School, a kid that graduated in 2008. He's a kid that I coached from the time he was 8-9 years old up to high school, passed away from a heart attack this week, and they honored him at Central. I went to his funeral this morning. They brought the team this year because Robert hasn't missed a home game at Central since he graduated in 2008. And so it was a tough loss to have, but Robert was just the life of the party. Big kid, big teddy bear, called him Pop Gun, always smiling, always happy. But we're going to miss you, Robert. Just wanted to say that.
So we'll take a timeout. When we get back, Opelousas head football coach Jimmy Zachary will join us here on this Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, and Your View.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli? I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 8 edition of Louisiana Prep Scoreboard, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine. Kate Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. And for the first time, we welcome on the head coach of Opelousas, Coach Jimmy Zachary. They get a big win in district play over Cecilia. And, Coach, appreciate your time here on the show. Congratulations on that win.
Coach Zachary.
Appreciate y'all having me on.
So, first thing I have to ask is, you started 14 freshmen last year, and you thought it would pay off for you this year. I think you're thinking it was pretty good.
Yeah, yes, sir, it was. But it was kind of risky. But I mean, you don't take risks, you don't get the reward. And right now, they're paying off dividends for us, man. Starting those guys with that, getting that experience, and they came into this year, we rolled it, man.
Well, you've played Charlie Links Catholic, you played Natchitoches Central, Lake Charles College Prep, Sandoval. Last year, if I remember correctly, you had a pretty tough schedule as well. So you just threw those kids straight into the fire, and it says a lot about those kids, though. Oh yeah, man, they got a lot of resolve, man. A lot of reserve. But again, I came in the game like that, man. Coaching with the guys I coached with, Coach Darnell Lee, man. At EA, man, he always said, man, you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, and you want to schedule tough 9 districts so you can be ready for a tough district, which our district is pretty tough. With those guys, Cecilia, Bro Bridge, Bo Shannon, who I'm missing, and Livonia in our district. But again, those guys, man, they rise to the occasion. They don't shy away from any competition. And again, like I said, it's paying off for us. So, Jimmy, we have to agree. We got to warn Coach Zachary. Don't take everything so literal like Coach Lee about setting your schedule up to play tough people.
Yeah, don't
iron
get
sharpen
advice from
iron.
him. don't get advice from him. Looking at his schedule.
That's my guy, man.
We actually went and saw Coach Lee today, and they had a big win tonight over Denham Springs. So,
well, that's good for him, man.
Coach, one of the things, looking at some articles, doing a little research on you today, you like to run the football, you want to play physical, and you want to play good defense. Talk about your defense this year.
Oh, man, again, I can't say enough about those guys. I challenge them every day, man. I coach them pretty hard. I'm a hard-nosed coach. I get into those guys. I challenge them to be the best, man, again, and they rise to the occasion week in and week out because, again, if you want to win a championship, and what you talk about doing here, you got to be able to play some good defense. I mean, offense sell tickets, defense wins championships. And, again, we got to be able to run the ball, especially in the playoffs.
How'd the game play out tonight? 21-16, close competitive game the whole way. 2 6-1 teams going into it. Sounds like a good one.
It was good, man. It was a rivalry against us and those guys, man. They're right up the road. But they really didn't put a drive together against us. That's why I was kind of upset with them even scoring the ball on us because I thought we could have shut those guys out. But they got some double pass. They scored on. Then they scored on the hook and lateral. And then they scored on the daggone. We snapped the ball. We was backed up in our own territory. And we snapped the ball over the punter head and we took a safety. So they really never actually put a drive together on us. They just, again, I guess it's just a lack of focus and a lack of discipline. We just got out. We was out of position on those plays, man, on the trick plays, and they scored. They cashed in on them.
Isn't Cecilia playing without their quarterback? They lost him a couple of weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, number 4. They call him Diesel.
Diesel.
He's without the quarterback. They had to put number 2, their receiver, at quarterback, and he's not a good thrower. So again, from everything we saw on film, he was the one that was carrying the low, him and 28 back there. So we wanted to stop the run. That was coming into this game. They're going to have to beat us passing. And for the most part, it worked out for us. We came out victorious.
Coach, I'm going to back up. This is your 3rd year at Opelousas, right?
Yes, sir.
What drew you there? I mean, Opelousas has struggled. Back in the day, I think they were pretty good, and they've just gone through some low times. And you've done a great job with them. I commend you for it. I was just curious to what brought you there.
Number one, this is home for me, man.
Okay.
I graduated from the school in 2001, played ball here. And, you never want to see your city down. You never want to see your school down like that. So I thought, with the opportunity that would present itself, I want to take a stab at it and give it a try, man. And so far, it's working out for us well over here.
Robert Hammond. Wasn't that his name from
Oh, yeah. You had the Robert Hammond, the Benny Gilbos, the Sam George. We have a lot of talent. There's a lot of rich tradition here. The winning is here. We just lost our way for a while. So it was the time to come back and restore order.
So I know your boys have probably played with a lot of these kids' dads. Does that give you a little bit more leeway to snap them in two if you have to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty aggressive, man. And like tonight, I got into one of my cornerbacks for getting beat on the double pass. And of course, his mama came up to me, man. Actually, he's a Hammond. His mama came up to me and that's what he needed. He needed that. So for the most part, and a lot of I have more leeway too because a lot of those kids that's playing for me, their parents were my classmates. So you got a little leeway there, and nothing like home, and they understand. I coach them hard, but I love these kids, and I don't think any kid will ever say I don't, and that's just what it is.
Well, hard love is good on the field and is great for those kids off the field, and we wish you the best of luck the rest of the year. Hopefully we can talk to you again, and I just got a text. Coach Lee said his time's up, so we've got to get you off the phone.
My guys say hello, man.
We will, Coach. 7-game win streak for Opelousas,
Yep,
man.
congratulations.
Only lost to Turlings in week 1, so a heck of a start they're going over there. And that Acadiana, another big game tonight, was also St. Thomas More defeating number 1 Turlings 35-30. Turlings had been through that stretch where they played Westgate, LCA. This was the back end of it with St. Thomas More. Close ball game. Turlings actually led 10-7, and then St. Thomas More scored 14. They scored a touchdown on the last play of the first half. Took a 14-10 lead, and then actually went ahead 28-10, and the STM made a late run at it. But two really good teams playing. That's a number 1 versus number 3 into the Select 2 division. So
Lafayette
really
Christian over that way in Acadiana. We also mentioned.
Yeah, we're fixing to get to Acadiana. I think we're going to try to talk to Coach Fontenot over at Southside. Big win tonight over Acadiana.
Do you know if Westside score?
I do have a Westside score.
I heard there was a guy that came in for Westside named Steve Powell who had a big play.
Let's see. Westside 41, Lake Catholic 38.
Wow. It's not 78-71, though.
No,
it's not.
But Westside can score that much.
You know, as we head to break, Jimmy mentioned something leading into the previous segment of a team honoring someone from their community. Episcopal with homecoming tonight. They get the win over Northeast, but they retired the number 8 jersey worn by their late coach and former player Jimmy Williams tonight. So nice, well-deserved.
Touch.
And on the field, there's a couple of emblems throughout that I think are really cool that they did. So always interesting this time of year because those schools, those communities, it just shows you how much all that means to the group, not just the football that's on the field, but it goes way beyond that.
You know, what's going on? We got what's going on at Opelousas. I mean, we kind of watched it a little bit last year, and not only does that mean a lot to those families for what's going on the field, but off the field as well. It's like going back to what Coach Scoggins said, you know, keeping that locker room clean, little things.
I wonder what they play, the music they play in the
boy, that's an argument.
I was going to say, is that a great debate who gets to pick the music? We'll take a timeout, and when we get back, lots more scores to get to and a couple more coaches and a debut. Taylor's top 5. Much debate, much controversy. Coming up next, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
The Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. From the Jamborees to the Superdome, your source for the most up-to-date scores and stats is right here. Now, live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio, here's Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, and Cade Wazan.
Welcome back to the Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. When you got to go, you got to go. GoPreps.com's Hunter Bauer going to join us in just a couple of minutes. First, we'll get a full scoreboard, and we'll start first with the Capital City.
The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Walker defeats Live Oak 33-14. Catholic, with the last play of the game, defeats Woodlawn 30-28. Scotlandville over Liberty 48-28. St. Michael over Terra 49-16. Zachary defeats Central 42-28. Dutchtown blanks Sanoma 42-0. East Ascension 17. Denham Springs 7. And Dunham 41. East Feliciana 32.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Southside over Acadiana 22-7. Karen Crows 72. Sam Houston 55. Erath 31. Abbeville 21. Lafayette Christian defeats Westgate 35-6. St. Martinville over Kaplan 34-14. Opelousas 21. Cecilia 16. Catholic Point Capee 47. St. Edmund 14. And St. Thomas More defeats Turlings 35-30.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Archbishop Shaw 57, Patterson 21, Edna Carr 54, Holy Cross 7. St. Aug and John Curtis will play tomorrow afternoon at 2. Newman 31, Country Day 14. John Errett 33, Chalmette 28. Rummel defeats Brother Martin 3-0. Lutcher 21, Assumption 13, and Edie White 45, Berwick 21.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
North DeSoto 48, Huntington 6, Sterlington 48, North Webster 7, Union Parish over Richwood 21-20, Neville 43, Tioga 7, West Monroe over Ouachita 45-14, Winfield over Red River 20-7, Benton in a shootout 78, Houghton 71, and Homer 43, Arcadia 6.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Amite 34, Albany 20, Albany 2, Jules Sumner 35, Pine 28, St. Paul 31, Mandeville 14, North Shore over Hammond 42-27, Lakeshore 35, Pearl River 20, Franklinton 37, Salmon 35, Kentwood over Slaughter 20-6, and Slidell 36, Covington 7.
Thanks so much to Skip, who's getting our scores out tonight. You can follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep. At Louisiana Prep, got a full scoreboard for you there, as well as on the ticker on the bottom of the screen if you're watching on your view, as well as the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge YouTube channel. A very reliable source throughout the year is GoPreps.com. And the man behind the website and information is Hunter Bauer. He is joining us on the Cardinal Financial Hotline. Hunter, thanks for spending a couple minutes with us tonight. Good to catch up with you.
Well, I was wondering when Todd was going to invite me on to come talk to y'all. It's week 8 of the season, and man, I'm just kind of disappointed. No, I'm messing with y'all.
Hey, look, I got to listen to one of your sponsors, Charlie Cavell, last night with Bird.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, Chevyland up there in Shreveport. They're a pretty big sponsor for us during football season. So Charlie's a good guy too. He's a really good guy. Big Bird supporter. He does the radio up there. But yeah, guys, I'm just crunching away at the numbers right now, trying to get them updated after all of tonight's games. So appreciate y'all having me on. I really do.
Hey, talk to our listeners about what you sent me, the score. You were saying what you have on record and you think is good about the high numbers in the scores in the 70s.
Yeah. So up in Northwest Louisiana tonight, Benton defeated Houghton 78-71. And there was some people reaching out to me wondering if that was a state record. And from what I have on my file, I had Montgomery beating Northwood Lena 90-60 back in 2019. So as far as I know, that's the state record. Benton and Houghton was just 1 point shy of that. And then there was a couple other high-scoring games that were below those two. But yeah, I think that's the second time, I believe, that Benton has scored 70 or more points in a game. It's crazy the amount of points that these teams up there in Northwest Louisiana, up in 1-5A, are just, it's crazy. And then you have Airline who, lost their first 3 games of the season, wasn't looking good, and now they're undefeated. They beat Bird last night, and they're 5-0 in district play, and definitely a interesting football season so far.
What I'll be interested to find out, something that Jimmy pointed out earlier, I don't know if anyone has scored over 70 points in a game and lost in the state of Louisiana. The total maybe not the highest, but that's just crazy how that you can get that much points and not win the ball game.
I think somebody scored, was it 51 and lost?
There's some teams that's going to be scratching their coach is going to have some
Back in
their heads this week.
Yeah, back in 1996, Abbeville defeated Alexandria 71-70. How about that? How about that game? It's just crazy. You score 70 points, and it's almost like the tip-off classic up there. Just crazy, and just goes to show you. And it's funny, guys, because you have Benton and Houghton who played to a 78-71 game tonight, and then down in New Orleans you have Rommel beat Brother Martin 3-0. So it's just crazy to think that some of these teams are going to be playing each other come postseason.
Hunter, St. Louis Catholic having a good year. We haven't talked about them much. Talk a little bit about them.
Yeah, they just really kind of flew under the radar coming into this year. They got a new coach in Brock Matern, and doing a very good job. And James Reyna, their quarterback, is kind of a dual threat. He can provide a lot of yards through the air and on the ground. And kind of just taking that district by surprise. They're one of the most successful teams in the Southwest Louisiana area right now. And in fact, with Iowa beating Lake Charles Prep tonight, kind of sets up the district. Well, it does set up the district championship between St. Louis and Iowa next week. So, 2 really good teams that I think are going to go deep in their playoff brackets are going to go head to head. But what St. Louis has been able to do, especially a couple years after Hurricane Laura came through and just devastated this area, what they've been able to do is just very resilient, and they got a lot of athletes over there.
Hunter, I know it's week 8 now, and about week 7 is when all the coaches really start focusing on your PowerPoint system that you keep up with. But big news.
Oh, yes.
But here this week, 8, 9, and 10, they're really going to be looking at it. But the big news coming out yesterday or this morning, I forget when it was the championships times were finally announced for the Superdome.
Yeah.
Do you have those you want to share?
Yeah. No, it's exciting because a lot of people, were beginning to ask me if there was a schedule, and I knew it usually comes out around this time of the year, and it'll be a 3-day event this year down in the Superdome. Now that all the state championships have been brought back under one roof, which is a very good deal. I agree with that. I agree with what the executive committee did with that and bringing everybody back together inside the Superdome. So, you're going to have 2 games on Thursday. You're going to have both Division 4s, select and non-select. That's going to be a 3:30 and a 7 o'clock kickoff. And then on Friday, you're going to have the first game at noon. That's going to be the select Division 2, followed by the select Division 3 game, and then the nightcap, the non-select Division 1, which is mostly your public 5A schools. That'll be the 7 o'clock kickoff. And then on Saturday, the same format as the Friday games. You'll have a 12, 3:30, and a 7. And then they'll switch. So you'll have the non-select Division 2 and 3 playing, and then it'll be capped off by the Division 1 select or the private school select Division 1 championship game at 7 o'clock. So a little bit of a different format this year. I like it. It's something different. I like how they're mixing the selects with the non-selects, and they're giving us the 2 highest divisions on both sides for the nightcaps on Friday and Saturday. So, guys, I'm just excited. I really do think this is going to be an interesting postseason. You're going to have a lot more competitive matchups here in the playoffs, and I think this is going to be a prep classic to remember for years to come. I really do. I think this is what the LHSA was able to do with the reformatting of the playoff bracket. I think it's going to turn out good. I really do, guys.
Did you get your hotel room?
I may have to be sleeping in my car.
Yeah, we got to work on that. I meant to call you and tell you that.
He's just talking about it's expensive. I don't know what I hadn't priced it yet.
I meant to call you this week. I saw that. So yeah, they are.
The rates,
I hope to be safe when
the
I'm
rates
going
to stay in your
there.
car are pretty expensive too. I heard. So just be careful.
What? What is
the parking? Could be just as expensive.
We might have to call Coach Phillips down at Warren East and see if he'll let us stay at his house.
There you go. Well, Hunter, man, we appreciate you, and I know we'll be talking to you week 10. Hopefully your computer won't crash this year with people driving to your website, blowing it up like they did a couple years ago. But I know you'll do the best you can with it.
Yeah, so real quick, let me tell you this. We have taken the steps to make sure that does not happen this year. I think we kind of boosted the website a little bit, and so it could take on that much traffic. So if it fails or if it crashes this year, I don't know what else to do. I've done all I can, and but it's much welcome traffic, and if it crashes the site, then that just means good news for me and getting a lot of views. But guys, real quick, just want to thank y'all for all y'all do, all the support. Todd, great friendship as always, and it's always great talking football with you guys, and can't wait to talk week 10.
Absolutely, man. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Hunter.
All right, guys, y'all have a good one.
All right. GoPreps.com. I mean, his power rankings are up to date. You'll see at the bottom the last time that they updated, just to let you know, but as it's
they're updating as the scores are coming in.
What do you call that? On live time or something like that?
In real time.
In real time. That's it. You guys are so professional.
That's right. We try to be. But yeah, we look forward to his conversations each year, and I know that within the next couple of weeks, probably have a conversation with him each of the next couple of weeks, and certainly on week 10 as we look into that postseason. And I think he's right. Those 3 days. Most importantly, we've got 3 days of 8 championships being played in the Superdome, and I think that works out for a lot of people. So we'll see.
Hey, look, I just got a text about Westside. The game-winning field goal came by Matt Lanassa. Kicked the field goal for Westside.
Special teams is on point.
It was 62 yards, I think,
Coach,
into the wind.
They play Thursday next. Coach Josh may be in the studio next week. They play on Thursday.
And then they're off the following week. That's Dutchtown with their third shutout in a row.
Dutchtown is as hot as anyone in the area right now, especially
Are they averaging 28 points? I mean, they put up at least 4 touchdowns the last couple of weeks.
They've had 27-0, 28
could
to
have scored
nothing,
2.
and then 42-0 tonight. So yeah, now they finish with the strength of their schedule here. The next 2 weeks they go to Denham Springs on Thursday night. That game will be held at Live Oak High School because Denham Springs Stadium is still not ready. And then I think they host EA.
I think you're right.
Week 10. So they finish with the meat of their schedule. If they can win at least one, the way they're playing, you can't hardly argue that they have a shot to win both of them. So
I think they averaged 20 points or 17. Now I'm going to go down. 17 points. They win both. Their defense hadn't given up more than a touchdown.
Yeah.
Right.
Ponchatoula was a defensive score.
Yeah, the first 2 games they scored 7 points combined. I don't remember the scores of their games, but yeah, they're playing well. Coach Mastretta's done a heck of a job of getting righting the ship, I guess you could say, because when they started off, it was like, ooh, what are they doing? And then he made a few changes.
It was flat ugly.
Moved A.K. Burrell.
Yep.
Good friend of mine's son over there from defense to offense, and moved, I think, another kid on over there, and they've been on a roll. And again, their quarterback's out, and they're not missing a beat right now.
Hey, we want to say a big shout out to Officer Campbell and his son out in East Ascension.
Yeah.
We enjoyed talking with them, and they taking care of, I say East Ascension Parish Sheriffs, but they always take care of us out there. Great people. He has a son out there. He's injured, didn't play tonight, but he's trying to do his job and also watch his son. So we appreciate guys like Officer Campbell, that's for sure.
We'll take a timeout. When we get back, more scores and maybe some coaches who have stopped hydrating for a little bit. We'll see here on this Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep School Board Show.
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Service Master Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret, the best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
barbecue guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical.
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Lake Urgent Care, Total Occupational Medicine, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy producing the program tonight. Taylor Sharp and Ryan Kennedy. And getting our scores is Skip Cottrell. You can follow us on Twitter at Louisiana Prep, for a full scoreboard throughout the night. We'll go ahead and jump back on the Cardinal Financial Hotline. And Jimmy, help me introduce our next guest with a big win tonight.
Yeah.
In the Acadiana area.
Southside 22, Acadiana 7. We have Coach Josh Fontenot, the only head coach at Southside High School. It's in their 4th year of varsity football. So welcome, Coach Fontenot.
Guys, thanks for having us, man. We really appreciate it.
Coach, this was the first time that you mentioned in the paper, this was the first time you felt like you didn't have to do anything special, that you could play your brand of football and have a chance against Acadiana.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, the first 3 years we played them, I kind of just thought we were outmanned, especially up front. And this year I thought, our boys were playing well, and I thought we had a chance to just let's go be us. And in the past, we may have been able to do it too, but maybe we forced the issue a little bit and weren't as confident in ourselves as we should have been. But tonight, we kind of just played our football and played our game, and coaches had a good plan, and the kids were amazing in executing it, and they were confident as well, so that helped.
If I'm not mistaken, last year you switched from a spread offense to a double slot veer offense, something like Parkview for the local people that Parkview used to run. What was your reasoning behind that?
Personnel, and then honestly, to beat the Acadianas of the world and the Karen Crows of the world, who we're going to have to play for district championships and in the playoffs, we were not physical enough. We weren't physical enough as a school. We weren't physical enough as a team, and we needed to find a way that we could match those guys some kind of way. And I've had some experience with the flex ball in the past in my early years as a coach, and I thought it was a good offense. Our offensive coordinator now, Paul Mono, has been with me since the beginning, and he and I kind of looked at it and said, okay, I think it's time. Dylan Monette graduated, and he was a really good spread quarterback for us. And we did it, and, we went through the growing pains, and towards the end of the year, actually, we were doing pretty good with it. And this year, having a quarterback come back in Landon Baptiste, who has had some experience in it and kind of knows it, made a huge difference. So it was a personnel thing, and just we thought we needed to change who we were in our school and our program.
Coach, I can remember, no telling how long ago, I'll probably show my age, 10, 12 years ago, that Hoover, Alabama, the coach he was spread, but he liked to, in the spring, he stayed in the eye because he wanted his team to mentally be physical, and he thought that the spread didn't do that for him. You talk about it fits your personnel. Do you think it helps your kids mentally as well?
Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. And when I was a head coach at Crowley, we kind of did the same idea where we got in the spring one year and they said, okay, we're just going to get in the eye and pound each other for 10 days in the spring. And then when we got into it, we said, well, man, this kind of works. And yes, I with all that, I do agree. I really believe that, especially nowadays where people want to throw the ball around and kind of do what they see on TV, Our game is slowly becoming, I think, a little more soft in times. And you see, go back to 2 years ago when Karen Crow and Acadiana both won the state championships in 4 and 5A, and they were both split back veer. And I think there's a lot to be said for that. People don't really want to defend that stuff anymore. And I thought it was necessary for us to become more physical, and that's a really good way to do it.
Coach, week one you lose to Notre Dame, if I'm not mistaken. You've reeled off 7 straight. Early in the year, if I'm not mistaken, turnovers were an issue for you. And anytime you run this type of offense, the mesh points with your fullback and your quarterback are so important. Has that been the biggest reason for your surge here and winning 7 straight? Y'all fix those issues?
I think it's part of it. Yeah, it was definitely a bad turnover couple of weeks. I mean, we had 3 in the first game. We had 5 in the second game against Cecilia, which we ended up winning. But yes, and you know, we had some personnel changes in the backfield. We moved some guys around, and you know, we were still kind of figuring out who needed to be where. And you know, when you're trying to figure out who you are, still a little bit personnel-wise against Notre Dame, that's never easy to do. Those guys know who they are right now for next year. You know, and then you know, that was a blessing that loss, just because we knew we got to change the guy here, put another guy in the slot, maybe a different guy at the fullback. And then the other thing that helped was Landon Baptiste, our quarterback. He just stopped trying to force things. And I think Landon felt that he had to make the plays to win. And once he accepted the fact that the game's going to come to him, and this offense is a patient offense, and it just takes time to get the ball to the right guy, and eventually the big play will happen. Once he accepted that, it really kind of took off.
Did it help you defend Acadiana? Because, holding them to 7 points is that's as good as just winning 22-7, right?
It is, yeah. That was surprising to all of us. It does. It helps us. But, we made a huge change on defense this year as well, and we went to a defense that's a little unique. It's a defense where we literally blitz every play. I know people say that a lot, but we're blitzing at least 2 linebackers every play, or sometimes a linebacker and a safety. And the big fear was, how does this hold up to a split back veer team who just runs it down your throat? And we went into the Karen Crow game, who kind of runs the same offense as Acadiana. And after the first day of practice, we kind of looked at each other as coaches and said, why are we trying to do something different? Let's just let our kids be who they are and do what's working. The stuff kind of worked, and then we got to the Acadiana, and so we're not going to change it. And we didn't run all our blitzes. We maybe changed the front here or there, but the defense that we're running now, it makes you be aggressive. And if you're not, you can't play in it.
Coach, we talked about this last week, because the reason behind you doing this was because your guys don't have the size up front to just stand up guys one-on-one and let your linebackers roam and make plays. So basically you got to have good gap assignment football. Everybody's got to make sure they're in the right gap, because if 2 go in one gap instead of each gap, it's a touchdown. But what defense are you running?
It's hard to say.
It's the freak, like Dale Brown, the freak defense.
It's kind of the freak defense. It really is, and it's kind of giving people fits. And but it's one it's very disciplined. Just like you said, if you're not in the right spot, it's gone. There's a touchdown line. So you see this thing, and there's people blitzing all the time, and you kind of think, well, they just blitz and they just go, no discipline, nothing like that. No, not at all. It's probably a more disciplined defense. As far as it requires more discipline than anything we've run in the past.
Well, Coach, we appreciate your time tonight. It's been exciting so far to follow your team, but there's lots of football left to play. I know we'll be talking with you down the road.
Thank y'all, guys. I really, really appreciate it.
Congratulations. Acadiana's won 7 straight district championships. You got to remember, Southside has beaten Acadiana and Karen Crow, so that's going to put them really in the driver's seat to win thing. Yeah,
I like talking. We get a lot of good coaches on here, but we like talking ball and like talking different strategies. And he's obviously, how many times do we talk about you can't just run an offense? You've got to run an offense that suits your personnel. Here's another example of it, and they're having a lot of success doing it.
27 points is what teams scored over the last 4 weeks total.
And that's two. Karen Crow?
Yeah, that's Southside's last 4 opponents. Yeah, and you know, you look at going back to the Karen Crow game, which was a little more high scoring, but that's 49-23, which is not bad. And you go back and you look at the Notre Dame game, that's an 8-point game. That's a 1-score game.
And you look at Acadiana, Coach McCullough, they're going to have to look at what's going on over there in the back-to-back weeks. Now, of course, it's John Curtis and Southside, but they scored 14 against John Curtis last week and only 7 tonight. Going into that, their last 4 or 5 games, they had put up like 50-something points per game.
That's a
so
tough break in your district schedule.
If they've had some injuries possibly, or, you know, Acadiana, I know on a few pitches last week, they put it on the ground, and that's the one thing you want to make an option team do. Yep. You got to take the fullback away, and you got to make them pitch the football. If you can do that, you can have some success.
Acadiana and Southside tied, Southside has the lead in district 6-0. Acadiana falls to 5-1 in district play, and Karen Crow, as you mentioned, they have the advantage over Karen Crow as well, even though.
And I think Acadiana and Karen Crow maybe next week.
You are correct. Yeah. That'll be next Friday. So, very interesting. I tell you what, guys, we'll take a break here, and then we'll come back on the back end when we return with a full scoreboard here on this Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and Your View.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Order curbside pickup online or with Rouse's Market Shopping app and let Rouse's personal shopper shop for you. Curbside pickup is free and you pay the same price for groceries as in-store. Use code SAINTS20 and save $20 on orders of $100 or more. That's curbside convenience. Shopper style.
Oh, yeah!
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Want more customers? Running Boards Marketing can help you get their attention. Imagine your brand's message on a giant LED billboard truck that can't be skipped and is nearly impossible to ignore. Running Boards Marketing is the leader in effective and affordable advertising on digital mobile billboards, which are 2 times more effective than traditional billboards. With a 97% recall rate, you'll leave a lasting impression with your customers. Visit us online at runningboardsmarketing.com so we can drive your message to where the people are.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge. The Capital City Scoreboard, cared for by Lake Urgent Care, Lake After Hours.
Walker over Live Oak, 33-14. Catholic High, 30. Woodlawn, 28. Scotlandville, 48-28, win over Liberty. St. Michael, 49. Terra, 16. Zachary, 42. Central, 28. Dutchtown shuts out Sandoval, 42-0. East Ascension, 17. Denham Springs, 7. Dunham, 41. East Feliciana, 32.
The Acadiana Scoreboard, pumped by Peak Performance.
Southside over Acadiana, 22-7. Carencro, 72. Sam Houston, 55. Erad, 31. Abbeville, 21. Lafayette Christian, 35. Westgate, 6. St. Martinville, 34. Kaplan, 14. Opelousas, 21. Cecilia, 16. Catholic Point Capee, 47. St. Edmund, 14. And St. Thomas More, 35. Turlings, 30.
The New Orleans Bayou Scoreboard, served by walk-ons.
Archbishop Shaw, 57. Patterson, 21. Edna Carr, 54. Holy Cross, 7. St. Aug and John Curtis will play tomorrow afternoon at 2. Newman, 31. Metairie Park Country Day, 14. John Eyre at 33. Chalmette, 28. Rummel, 3-0 win over Brother Martin. Lutcher, 21. Assumption, 13. Edie White, 45. Berwick, 21.
The North and Central Louisiana Scoreboard, insured by State Farm.
North DeSoto over Huntington, 48-6. Sterlington over North Webster, 48-7. Union Parish, point better than Richwood, 21-20. Neville, 43. Tioga, 7. West Monroe over Ouachita, 45-14. Winfield, 20. Red River, 7. Benton, 78. Houghton, 71. And Homer, 43. Arcadia, 6.
The North Shore Scoreboard, restored by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic.
Amite over Albany, 34-2. Jules Sumner, 35. Pine, 28. St. Paul over Mandeville, 31-14. North Shore, 42. Hammond, 27. Lakeshore, 35. Pearl River, 20. Salmon, a 37-35 winner over Franklinton. Kentwood, 20. Slaughter, 6. And Slidell, 36. Covington, 7.
Thank you, Skip. Coming up in just a minute, we're going to debut a brand new segment, Taylor's Top 5. But first, we'll look at the New Orleans area from tonight, Jimmy.
Yeah, big one. Rummel over Brother Martin, 3-0. Brother Martin's really struggling to score points. They scored 14 in the last 2. They won last week over Holy Cross, 14-7. Carr just continues to impress, 54-7 over Holy Cross. Even though their record says 3-3, they have not been beaten on the field. They were 15 in the power rankings in the non-select. One team that's really has caught my attention is Slidell. They moved to 7-1 with a big win over Covington, over a good 5-2 Covington team, 36-7. Covington's dropped 2 straight now, I believe. But Luke Guidry over there, the quarterback for Slidell, has been really good, over 1,200 yards passing, 10 touchdowns. He's able to run the football. Also, Jahad Williams had 623 yards coming into the night. But Slidell,
their only loss was at overtime with
week
Jesuit.
Week one in Jesuit, and you sit there, blew a 13-0 lead, lost 16-13 in overtime. But if you look back, I know they want that game back. They're having a really good year.
All right, let's go ahead and debut the Taylor's Top 5, and we'll start with number 5.
All right, I'll go ahead and let you guys know now, U-High ain't on this list is one of the top 5 schools in Baton Rouge. Couldn't put them in there. They don't have a single win over a team with a winning record. They're off the list. Number 5 is Parkview Baptist, a 6-1 record in so far this year. Not a great non-conference schedule. Their non-conference teams have a combined record of 14-14, so not great. But they're averaging 35 points per game this season while holding opponents to just 10.8. Also 2-2 in district over Northeast and Episcopal. Episcopal's only loss is also, I'm sorry, I'm reading Dunham right here. My fault. Okay, Parkview Baptist, off to a great start here. They have non-conference wins. They have non-conference wins over Dunham, Catholic New Iberia, Bruley, and Broadmoor. 2-1 in their district, with their only loss being to Madison Prep. They average 33 points per game and giving up just 9 per contest. Now we go to our number 4 team. That would be Dunham. 6-1 so far in 2022. Their only loss, week 1, to Parkview Baptist, but it was only a 3-point loss, and they have a much better non-district schedule than Parkview does. They played Live Oak, ML King, Ascension Catholic, and Southern Lab. Those schools have combined for a record of 25-10 this season. Dunham averaging 35 a game, holding opponents to just 10.8. Also 2-0 in district over Northeast and Episcopal. Episcopal's only loss is to Dunham. The number 3 school on this list is Madison Prep. Now, they're 5-3 this year, but they have a very tough schedule. Their losses are to Brother Martin, Scotlandville, and Warren Easton. Those are 2 5A schools and a 4A school. Their non-district schedule consists, obviously, of Brother Martin, Southern Lab, Scotlandville, and Warren Easton. 4-0 district record, have beaten Parkview, Mentorship, Port Allen, and U-High by a combined score of 166-44. They're averaging 26.5 points per game and giving up just 15 per contest. Now, that brings me to my top 2. So Catholic and Zachary's, their resumes are almost identical. I'm going to put Zachary at 2. It's not their fault. Catholic should just played an extra game. So I gave Catholic the number 1 spot, although I almost had to flip that tonight. So Zachary, 5-1 on the season coming into tonight. They're now 6-1, averaging 38.3 points per game, giving up just 19 a contest. 2-0 in district, have beaten Woodlawn and Scotlandville by a combined score of 86-44. Also a very solid strength of schedule. Non-district, they played EA, John Curtis, and St. Aug, which is their only loss. Those teams have a combined record 21-7. Also, tons of talent on that team, led by Eli Holstein and Tylen Williams. And that leads me to my number 1 team, the Catholic High Bears, 7-1 now on the season. Their only loss to Our Lady of Good Counsel out of Maryland. That was a 3-point loss. They're averaging 42.2 points per game while giving up just 27 per game to their opponents. 2-0 in district play coming into tonight. Outscored Liberty and Central by a combined score of 96-38. Also, great non-district schedule. Warren Easton, U-High, St. Thomas More, and Carver, Montgomery, and Alabama. Those 4 schools have a combined record of 30-7. That is my top 5 schools in the Baton Rouge area.
Good job. Now, I'm just anxious to see the Parkview U-High one. I think that's a Week 10 game.
Well, he just said Catholic had a tough schedule and included U-High in it, which is not in this top 5.
No, but he said they hadn't beat anybody.
No, I'm talking about what he said about Catholic. He said U-High was a part of Catholic. He said they were tough.
Yeah.
But not obviously top 5 tough.
Not tough enough.
Well, they're not. I mean, look, I understand you schedule tough games, but if you're not winning any of those tough games, what's the point of scheduling them? U-High has won none of their tough games, so I can't put them in there.
They beat Woodlawn. They beat a team out of the state semifinalists from Mississippi 42-0.
They're 4-4.
Oh, I know what they are.
Yeah. That's the best team they've beaten record-wise.
The thing is, though, I'd play U-High schedule over Parkview schedule, and here's why. Because playing Catholic High and Rummel, and who else was the other one?
Madison
Not Madison Prep.
Woodlawn.
those teams there, they're not going to cost you a state championship. They're going to prepare you for the state championship. Where if you look at Parkview's, have they prepared them for when they get to the U-Highs and the teams in the playoffs that they're going to play? That would be my major concern.
Speaking of the capital city, what stood out from tonight's action?
EA winning 17-7. Really good game. I thought Denham Springs dominated again in the first half. They had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. They should have been up at a minimum of 17-0. Instead, it was 7-0. They let EA hang around. EA took advantage of it, made a couple plays at the end of the ball game, win 17-7. The Catholic Woodlawn game stands out. Again, Catholic wins at 30-28. After returning the kickoff, like we mentioned earlier, to the plus 39-yard line, they scored on the final play of the game, which was a fourth down play also.
Some teams just have your number. I know they didn't.
Yeah.
Woodlawn didn't win, but some teams just have a way of keeping up.
And that was to Daniel Harden for the play. One that really looks at is Dunham and East Feliciana. These teams played last year to a 57-52 game. 41-32 tonight. Dunham comes away with the win. You talked about matchups just in. And this is what it comes down to in playoffs. How do you match up with somebody? Dunham's defensive secondary is probably the weakest part of their strength is their front seven. Okay, so East Feliciana's is really good at passing with Mills Dawson at quarterback, and they got the 6'8" receiver in Tredez Green. It's just not a good matchup when they play. Now, so when you win a game like that, you take it. I don't care how you had to do it or what the score was. For Neil Weiner and those guys, you take that win. But that score kind of caught me off. Dutchtown, again, like we mentioned, 42-0 win over Santa Ma.
And a nice way for them to bounce back considering last week.
And Central playing Zachary close, 42-28. It was 28-21 later in the game. Zachary scored late to actually get their final points of the game. So Coach Sidney's played well. They just don't have the horses that Zachary has.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back to wrap things up tonight on this Week 8 edition. Lake Urgent Care, Total Occupational Medicine, Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in your view.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
ITI's got all these programs. Once I started and learned everything about the school, it was worth it.
The challenges that ITI presented me with, it allowed me to build myself up.
All because of ITI, I actually was able to get a job within 3 months before graduation in my field.
Get the hands-on training you need for the job you've always wanted. With so many companies hiring right now, it's the perfect time to come to ITI Technical College. Enroll today for a better life.
I'm Jay Ducote. I grew up learning how to cook at LSU tailgate parties and right in my own backyard. And I created JD's Louisiana products to bring that Louisiana flavor to you at home for your backyard cookout. JD's Louisiana barbecue sauce, Louisiana molasses mustard, spicy and sweet barbecue rub, and more are available at your local supermarkets or by logging on to jducote.com/shop. Put in promo code CST for 25% off at checkout.
This
This summer, meet Acura's heroes of performance. Only available at the Acura Summer of Performance.
This summer, visit your local Acura dealer for attractive offers on the MDX.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only 96 calories. It's Miller time.
Mom, what's for breakfast?
Don't have time for a cold? A cut? Those allergies? Or a sprain?
I really don't have time for this.
Lake Urgent Care is here to help with easy, convenient online check-in, virtual visits, or walk-in care. Plus, we're kid-friendly and open 7 days a week, including holidays and weekends. When you don't have the time to be sick or hurt, feel better faster at Lake Urgent Care and Lake After Hours.
Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Welcome back to the Week 8 edition of the Lake Urgent Care Total Occupational Medicine Louisiana Prep Scoreboard Show. Cade Wazan, Todd Black, and Jimmy Roy. Looking at the North Louisiana area tonight, some of the highlights. Neville having no problem at all with Tioga and Union Parish.
Right over there.
Not really, but we'll go.
Union Parish, give some credit to Richwood hanging in there with Union Parish tonight.
Well, that game there is kind of a trap game, I guess you could say, for Union Parish. Coming off of that big rival win over Sterlington last week, you had to worry about that, whether they would have a letdown. But Richwood's done some good things. They're 5-2 coming into tonight, so Coach Yanez has them playing really well. West Monroe just destroyed Ouachita tonight, 45-10.
Surprised that wasn't closer?
Yes, 35 unanswered points for West Monroe. Now, West Monroe's playing really well in their last two games going into tonight. It outscored their opponents 97-0. They were weaker opponents, but they're only giving up 8.5 points per game. 3 of the 6 games have been shutouts and then gave up basically their average tonight. So they're playing really well. Todd, one of the teams we don't know a whole lot about, North DeSoto moves to 8-2 tonight, beat Huntington, who was 5-2 going into tonight.
8-0.
8-0 now.
Yeah.
They were 7-0 going into tonight. They win 48-6. Huntington, Cameron Evans is like number 2 in the state in passing, over 2,000 yards. Him and the kid from Patterson's only ones. But Dennis Dunn's done a great job down there. They're starting a 14-year-old freshman at quarterback. He's thrown for 1,200 yards, 23 touchdowns. Their only decent game that they had played, really, though, was Airline in week 1. Now, Airline's showing that they're a pretty good team, you know, the way they play. But North DeSoto's averaging 49.3, 37 is the lowest they've scored, and that was last week against Evangel. Huntington's a team who's been really good in the regular season, but they can't get that marquee win. They've lost 2 games this year going into tonight to Byrd and Neville. Last year they were an 8-2 team in the regular season, lost to Byrd and Neville. 5-1 the year before that. They just can't get that signature win. And if you ever get it and get that confidence, Todd, you know what it can do to you.
Just kind of like Southside, you know,
right.
Talking about that. It's that was a signature win for those guys.
Well,
tonight,
you
for sure.
go back to the Karen Crow game.
Yeah.
That was one that said, hey, we can play. And that gave them the confidence to win. I would almost bet you if they lost to Karen Crow, they get beat tonight. I mean, again, Benton Houghton, we mentioned that one.
And that was at the Open Air Crow Dome.
Yeah, Karen Crow tonight. We got to mention that one. They were 72-55 win. A freshman wide receiver, Chance Babineau, had 8 catches, 224 yards, 4 touchdowns. That was in the first half. Ouachita Christian going back up north, 6-1. They win tonight, moved to 7-1, beat Cedar Creek 34-10. They just keep rolling. Coach Fitzhugh does an incredible job. Cedar Creek going into tonight had outscored their opponents 279-74 and won 5 straight. So good win for OCS.
Everybody, with the exception of Turlings Catholic and Hanson Memorial, remain in that. So we're down to 12 undefeated teams in the state.
And some matchups next week coming. So you have East St. John Destrehan in 5A. They play next week. You got Plaquemine and West Feliciana still have to play in week 10. So,
real quick, I had a question today. Guy's son was a freshman and said, I hadn't had any colleges contact me. Should I be worried? Look, do not listen to people on social media. Don't. It's like, what, in the junior year is probably during their junior year might be when you start getting recruited. But
I see 6th and 7th graders on social media and 8th graders posting stuff to college coaches.
I told Brock to do that.
He should. Everybody else does it. Locally next week, Scotlandville at Catholic, Dutchtown at Denham Springs. 2 good ones we'll be keeping an eye on.
We'll look forward to that and look forward to everyone who's tuned in tonight having a chance to check us out next Friday night. And on Sunday at 6, it's Louisiana Prep Weekly. We invite you to tune in as we honor our coach and student athletes of the week as well. For Coach Todd Black, Jimmy Roy, Taylor Sharp, Ryan Kennedy, and Skip, this has been Louisiana Prep Weekly, presented by Lake Urgent Care and Total Occupational Medicine.